Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Tahnie, your favorite wedding planner and owner of Ivy Weddings and Events here in San Diego. And it is that time of year, my friends. That's right, get ready, engagement season. The time of year when 40% of proposals happen between December and February, making Christmas Day and Valentine's Day being the most popular days to get engaged. So let's dive right in, and I'm going to let you know how to plan the perfect proposal. Okay, first and foremost, let's make sure we're on the same page. You and your partner need to be on the same page as marriage. If you're in a relationship, and that conversation has come up before with marriage and whether you want children, etc., and someone's not on the same page with you, I highly suggest maybe really thinking about the relationship. If that is your end goal, that might not be the best for you long term. Now, if you're just not really sure how to dive into that conversation and you're kind of a little awkward about it, bring it up in different ways. Maybe talk about your friends getting engaged or your friend's wedding. There are certain ways to go about it where it's not actually talking about you, to get a kind of an idea of what your partner is thinking. But definitely have that conversation at some point, and again, make sure you are on the same page with getting married. Have a conversation with your partner's parents or guardians. Call me a little old school, but I think it's really, really important to ask. It doesn't have to be their father, it could be their mother, it could be their grandmother, whoever is kind of that important person in your partner's life. I suggest having a conversation with them, calling them up. Let's schedule a phone call, let's schedule a lunch date or a dinner date. Have that conversation. It makes it really, really personable. It builds that trust factor, and again, it kind of goes along with making sure you're on the same page. I think it's respectable to make sure that you have your partner's parents' best interests at heart when you're going to kind of be combining families. Now, funny story to kind of go along with that is so my now husband, we actually got engaged over Thanksgiving week in France. It was just a trip with him and I, but before we went to France, it was Thanksgiving Day, which we stayed with my mom, and he had a lot of different opportunities to actually ask her for my hand in marriage, but he never did. He forgot about that little step, and we all laugh about it now, but because our families were loving and embraced the proposal with open arms, and we're all just one big happy family now. But it's kind of funny because I say these things and there's just so much going through your head when you're going to be asking for your partner's hand in marriage that you may forget these little steps. But again, do have that serious conversation if you are able to. Next up, have your engagement piece. I say piece because it doesn't always have to be a ring, but for the sake of traditional purposes and probably the most popular choice, let's just say get the bling, you guys, the engagement ring. Now you're thinking, Tahnie, okay, how the heck am I supposed to know what kind of engagement ring my partner wants? Let me tell you something, and I want to make this plain and simple and very clear. Ask them. Ask them what they like. Tell them to give you samples of some photos that they really love. Ask them to share their Pinterest board with you. Or if they have a best friend and they've been discussing what type of ring they want, ask them. Maybe they've told their mom or dad. Ask them. There are so many ways that you could go about finding out exactly what they want, or get an idea of where to start, because the possibilities are endless. And the last thing you want to do is start out your engagement with something that's going to be disappointing for your partner. You definitely don't want them to be disappointed. So if you've had that conversation with your partner and you do want to get engaged at some point in your relationship, I highly suggest, honey, just telling them up front what you like, so there's no confusion there. Or if you guys are both really comfortable with the conversation, go engagement ring shopping together. You will definitely know what they want, and you get to try on different rings, because you may think that you like a traditional princess cut and maybe you come out wanting an oval diamond. Now, as far as ring size, if your partner has jewelry or rings that they already wear, definitely take that, bring it into the jeweler, maybe measure it. You can always get your ring resized. So just because you buy a ring, maybe it's too big or hopefully not too small, you could get it resized, and your jeweler should return that fairly soon. And if you're asking, well, where the heck do I even start? What jeweler do I go to? I always suggest starting with recommendations of maybe you have friends that have gotten engaged, or a lot of families have kind of their family jeweler that they go to. So that's always a great place to start, and just kind of do a little research. People might have different, jewelers might have different styles. So you're going to want to know the style you're shopping for kind of before you head into a jeweler and have an idea of kind of how their process works. And of course, make an appointment. Once you get your ring, keep it safe, you guys. And I know that seems obvious. If you're a forgetful person and you hide it in a really great spot, make sure you give yourself a note of where the heck you put it. Rings can get lost, and this is a huge, huge thing, you guys. Once you get that ring, always get insurance right away. And I hate to tell this to you fellas, but us ladies are very, very sneaky and very, very smart, and we know where all of your stuff is at any given time. So yes, we do your laundry, yes, we put your socks away, and yes, we reorganize your drawers. So if you're thinking about putting that ring in a box in your sock drawer, that's not gonna work. We like to kind of, not that we go through your stuff, okay, disclaimer, we do not go through your stuff. We like to keep your own privacy, but we know where things are, and you're not that sneaky, and just outsmart us, okay? Like really, really hide it. Keep it at your parents' house if that's easier, but definitely make sure you get insurance and think about your hiding spot a little bit. Next up, consider what you are going to say. I always suggest writing down your thoughts. Kind of collect them on a piece of paper, get them all out there, write what you want to say. Now, I guarantee that even if you rehearse this a million times, you are going to be so nervous and excited all at the same time that you may forget everything you just wanted to say. And if all that comes out of your mouth is marry me, I guarantee your partner is going to be swept off their feet regardless. But again, if it helps you a little bit, write it all down, get it out, rehearse, and then when it comes to the big day, just honestly say what comes from the heart. Next up is, how will you do it? Plan it out. Will you get down on one knee? Will you pop the ring in a donut and bring it to your sweetheart in bed in the morning as they wake up with their coffee? Will you hire a photographer? Will it just be you two in a secluded place at the top of a hike? Will it be in the park at a picnic where you had your first date? No matter how simple or extravagant it is, definitely plan it out so you just have some idea of how it's going to work. And that way, should anything kind of interfere along the way, you'll be more prepared. Also, make sure the moment is just right. Say if you were planning on asking your partner when you guys had a fancy date night and maybe they're not feeling good all of a sudden and they get a tummy ache and want to go home, like maybe postpone it. It's okay. You've waited this long. You want to make sure that the moment is just right, and everyone feels good about it. It's funny. I have another story about my proposal and the whole getting down on one knee. And actually that is kind of dates back to medieval times when a noble knight would get down on one knee and ask his noble woman to marry him. So it's very like chivalrous and very historical, classic, traditional, all the things that I love, old school. But my husband did not get down on one knee when he proposed. But this is why. It's a good story. We were in Cassis. It's this little small town in the south of France. And that day we hiked up this vineyard mountain. It took like 2 hours to hike up this mountain, okay? We get to the top. It's so windy. Nobody's around. It's late November. It's so cold. I did not look cute. I was in a beanie, no makeup. I had yoga pants on, a windbreaker. I'm like sweating and cold all at the same time because we just hiked to the top of this mountain. And we're both sitting at the top. And mind you, it's overlooking the Mediterranean Ocean. It is so picturesque and perfect and so unique to our love story. And we were both sitting there and he just looks at me and he says some words and I black out because I just, the proposal's coming and I remember what he said, but I don't because I was just so taken aback and surprised. And then he said, will you marry me? And of course, I'm like crying, and I think I had mascara on. Actually, the mascara is running down my face, and like the wind is blowing my mascara. So like, I did not look cute, people. It wasn't that like I thought we were getting engaged in Paris. It was so fun. I wasn't expecting it. I was surprised. We were both like sitting on the top of the mountain, like trying not to fall off. So it wasn't traditional. He did not get down on one knee, but it was the most unique proposal and so special to our love story. So that's just kind of an example of how traditional can go so differently when you're actually in the moment. And it was so just natural and loving and so perfect. So that's my story. But my nails did look really cute though. They did look really cute. So that was the only thing I had going for me, because if there was a ring on my finger, I needed the nails to look cute. Once your partner says yes, like, get crazy, get excited, just make out wherever you are for hours. No, I'm just kidding. Really be happy for you guys. Just made this like wonderful decision, and just be happy for each other. Announcing your engagement. Let me tell you, take your sweet time doing this, my friends. Let it be yours for as long as you can, just the two of you, if your friends and family didn't know. That's what we did. Again, we were in France. He proposed. We didn't tell our friends and family until we got back, except for my husband did spill the beans. We were group chatting our family the whole time of our trip, and he sent a photo of me drinking wine like this to the family group chat, and of course there was the ring on my finger. So he kind of blew our cover a little bit, but it was just really funny. Everyone's like, what is that on her finger? And we're like, oh, surprise, we're engaged. So, it was ours for a few days. Once you are ready to let your friends and close family know, give them a call, video chat with them, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever that is, to make it a little personable experience for them, to make sure they feel important, that they're part of your inner circle. I think is really, really nice thing to do. And then you could start texting, that middle circle and the outer circle. And then I would say wait to post on social media for as long as you can, you guys. Make it yours. And then I know how excited you are, and then announce it to the world. Because as soon as you announce it to the world, you are going to get this question. So when's the wedding? Where's the wedding? Am I invited? And honey, like, you don't know that information yet. Just take a pause. Enjoy your engagement. They don't need to know all that, and you don't need to know your guest list and your date and everything yet. Let it be yours for a moment in time, and sit back, relax, and enjoy it, because believe me when I say, you guys, it doesn't last long, and it's over just like that. So take your time with it. So my friends, go forth and start planning those proposals. And if you need help, call me. In the meantime, stay creative and be legendary.